Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. The reports suggest that the Department of Agriculture, Land Reform and Rural Development has gazetted a new regulation that will allow the use of grape juice in the manufacturing of alcoholic apple beverages or ciders. This is because wine could not be sold and initially exported due to a range of lockdown bans totaling 23 weeks in 2020 and 2021. For more on this, we're joined by Administrating Officer for the Liquor Act, Wendy Jonker. Very good evening to you. Thank you for your time. Grape juice has been added to the, the new regulation as opposed to the regular use of pear juice and apple juice. Talk to us about this new addition.
Thank you. Good evening. It's a pleasure to be with you tonight. So yes, indeed, with the lockdown, there's been it had a great impact on the wine industry in terms of the industry sitting with large volumes of surplus wine to the effect of about 300 million liters during 2021. So the industry then to the Minister of Agriculture and asked for revision of the cider definition. Firstly, it was requested to ensure that we harmonize with international trends and with the international regulation and definition of cider, which is less strict than the South African definition. So in the past, it was only allowed to add 25% of pear juice. Traditionally in South Africa, cider has always been made mostly of 100% apple juice, and the apple juice concentrate is not always available in South Africa and unfortunately had to be imported. So this amendment, you are now allowed to use grape concentrate and grape juice instead of the juice, which would then allow South African cider producers to source locally and to look to local producers of grapes and then to have contracts with those producers, and in that manner, going forward, also instead of making wine, rather moving towards producing grape concentrate and then delivering additional means of income.
So how
that was more to the trade.
Yeah, how does it benefit the entire ecosystem? I mean, you speak about the taste element and also looking at how this is a big shift which seems to provide a lot of opportunities in another sector.
Yes, it benefits the economy and the whole, I think, in terms of job creation, definitely a massive impact. Because during lockdown, there's been about 21,000 jobs that's specifically relating to the wine and the wine industry and the liquor products industry as a whole. There's been much more jobs that was lost. So with sourcing locally, the opportunity is there for job creation, for maintenance of jobs. So more other grape producers, people entering production of grapes, that is a benefit, at least in terms of job creation, specifically for the Western Cape.
Perhaps let's go back a little bit and reflect on the challenges of COVID-19 and what it meant for the industry. Of course, there were various complaints, even complaints going as far as court when it comes to liquor during COVID-19 and those regulations and the long-term impacts they've had on the sector.
No, absolutely. It was a massive impact. There was more than 200 days, which equals about 6 months of a local ban on sales of liquor products in South Africa. And then also there was a 6-week ban on exports. Also, there was a massive impact in terms of even after the ban was lifted, specifically if you look at exports, the Cape Town and the Durban harbors, all of that were massively impacted by COVID-19, the fact that people had to stay home, not everybody could work. And yes, so what happened is that unfortunately there was a backup of orders for export, and then also locally there could not be any sales. So impact, and I think actually the liquor industry as a whole is still struggling. Many of the businesses, many is going out of business. So this intervention is really a dire need for the industry, at least to diversify themselves to ensure that they can survive.
Yeah,
but
you
it's
make
still a
mention
long road
of
ahead.
diversifying themselves. Of course, being flexible, that's what COVID-19 has taught a lot of businesses in terms of survival. How have the grape producers and farmers reacted to this news? And of course, perhaps how many more opportunities could this move open up in different parts of the sector?
Yes, definitely. The benefit is now that immediately, even though the harvest is only next year, the grape harvest is only once a year, and it normally starts in January and ends in March. So the benefit is that now already grape producers can get contracts and contract themselves to cider producers to start making plans so that they can then move towards grape production and grape concentrate next year. So at least not deciding, for example, if their wine cellar, they've still got a lot of surplus wines from the previous year, then they can decide rather not to make any wine for the 2022 sector, rather than diversify and rather use that and produce grape concentrate. And so yes, in terms...
No, it's fine. No, you carry on.
No, I think I've summed up your welcome to ask.
Okay, thank you. So in terms of opportunities, in terms of exporting, how does this now new addition add to those opportunities?
I think the fact that we are able to source local grape, and not having to eat for cider, the demand is much greater than we can produce at the moment. The industry are struggling to keep ahead with the cider demand at the moment. So there's lots of opportunities locally and also for export. So we can use grape instead of, and just the 25% grape that can be added instead of that will make the product more commercially viable and more competitive in the end. So that's a direct benefit immediately.
Yeah, thank you.
And
so
obviously
much.
we've got excellent quality. Our ciders are excellent, I think, from the best in the world. So definitely that's also an opportunity to perhaps bring in new tastes, new profiles. So there's lots of opportunities in with this new change.
Thank you so much for your time, Wendy Jonker, Departmental Administrating Officer for the Liquor Act, speaking about the opportunities that